Couldn't get the video part. I've got the audio, but not the vid. Wait a minute.
So Ray and Jamie are here at Metroplex. I know we have Brad, Sharon on the line.
Hello?
Bob and Todd.
Sounds like Neil. Sounds like Neil.
Yeah, I don't know where I am, but I got no video at all. And I've been on video.
Neil, we can hear you, Neil. We can hear you.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
I just got done sharing the meeting and started at 8:30 this morning. Just got over it 30 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
And of course, I was just in time to see the final vote.
Yep.
Somebody's not having a good day. Is the meeting about?
Yeah.
Video. We just lost the video on our end.
Yeah, it says on your end due to low bandwidth. It should pop back on. I'm assuming it has something to do with the Wi-Fi signal. But everyone else who has their video on, we can see, and I will start live streaming once we are ready to start the meeting.
Well, I've been on video all day long, so I don't have a trouble. Why? If I turn on FaceTime, will that help me or not?
Neil, if you'd like to see everyone, I can FaceTime you separately. If you want to use WebEx, the bottom of your screen, there should be something that says Start Video. I don't know if you just used the call-in feature or if you did the video feature, but if you want me to FaceTime you so you can see, I can do that.
Well,
Hey, David, this is our screen went black, so I don't know if it might be a computer issue.
Okay. Well, we can hear you fine, and it still says that you're on the call, so we are good. Everyone looks fabulous, in case you're wondering. I got a few smiles out of that.
Todd, are you there?
Todd nodded yes, he's on mute right now.
Yes, I'm here. I can see everybody. I even see some guy that says he's Bob Dietrich that has his big beard.
That's actually my mask. You can't, but it's my mask.
I believe we have a quorum, and we probably can get started.
Mark, we ready? David, we ready?
We're ready.
Video. Okay. We want to. Can everyone hear me? This is Ray. We're going to start the meeting. Welcome everyone to the January 13th meeting of the Metroplex Board of Directors. Welcome everyone. The first item is tonight's approval of the minutes of the November 18th meeting. I need a motion from someone to move.
I'll make a motion. Bob Dietrich.
Thank you, Bob. May I have a second?
Second, Brad Lewis.
Thank you, Brad. Any discussion on the minutes? Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the minutes, say aye, or give us a thumbs up on the screen.
Aye.
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 Aye. Thanks. Next up is our treasurer's report.
Karen, is Karen on the phone? She's not, so I will give the December 31st, 2020 report. You'll see that through the end of the year, we're showing total revenues of $8.9 million, and I think you all know from all our prior meetings that if anyone said we'd get close to $9 million for the year, we'd be awfully happy. So that's a pretty good result given all the things that have happened this year. On the operating expense side, you'll see that we're falling under budget by more than $210,000. So overall, we're doing very well on the budget, and our cash position is at a little over $1.8 million. The pre-development budget has been very stable all year long, as you know, with expenditures of $4,000. So we've only spent about 35% of what was budgeted. And your report also contains all our open projects. So if there was any questions about the projects or any part of the report, we'll answer them.
Any comments? I just want to thank again the staff for keeping the budget, so much under budget this year and watching very carefully. The sales tax did recover nicely. We are expecting some additional sales tax data in the next couple of days, next week. We will update the board as soon as we have that. That covers the last quarter of the year. Jamie, help me out.
Yeah.
Last quarter, basically, give or take. So we're very eager to see how the year ended up, how the Christmas season went as far as tax. The minute we get that data, we will share it with the board and the staff. But overall, as Jamie said, the year went better, and it started, it ended better than it started, and we are in good shape. We have a motion, a second. If there's no other discussion on the Treasurer's report, I'd ask for a yay. Approval of the Treasurer's report, please.
Yay.
Okay, everybody.
Yay.
Thank you all.
As you can't see in the office, I just want to let you know Paul Webster joined, and there was another join of call-in user. I'm not too sure who it was.
Welcome,
Steve
Paul.
Reckmer here.
Oh, great. Welcome. Thank you. We're moving on now to the project part of the agenda. The first project is the reserve at Towpath Trail. We discussed this at our last meeting, held a public hearing. There are two resolutions. We'll ask Jamie to summarize and give us an update, and hopefully we'll have consideration of this project tonight.
Yes, you may remember this project from a couple of meetings ago. This is the development of 88 units of market rate housing off of Van Branken Avenue. I think the story behind the site is that there have been several attempts to develop this site, single homes that have failed, but now we're working with our proven developers, Seth Meltzer and Chris Matalone. They're prepared to move ahead with 4 buildings, 88 units, $12.75 million project. Public hearing was held on November the 4th. We received no comments. 2 resolutions. One is the seeker resolution, which characterizes the project as an unlisted action and a negative declaration. It's a very positive thing for the city. And then the second resolution is the approving resolution for the sales tax, mortgage recording tax exemptions, and a pilot.
We have a motion on the first resolution, the seeker resolution, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Neil. Seconded by Sharon. Any discussion on the seeker resolution? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting it, say aye.
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 Thank you all. Now we'll move on to the adopting the general project plan. I need a motion on that.
I'll move. Sharon.
Thank
Second.
you. Second. Thank
Second.
you. Again, this brings
Mike
back,
Angelozzi.
thank you. It brings back to life a site on Van Rankin. If you haven't driven down Van Rankin lately to see the magnificent redevelopment of Yates Village, please do so. You'll feel really good about your service on this board and the direction that the community is going in. This is going to be an additional project right nearby that creates momentum on this road, which is a gateway to Schenectady County. And we have proven developers, as Jamie said, that have their bank financing. And we're excited to see this one move ahead. Happy to answer any final questions before we do final consideration of this project.
Ray, Neil here. I'm sorry I can't be with you, but I am there in spirit. Were all of the apartments at Yates Village redone?
The first phase of it's a 3-phase program. So they started very smartly with the units that face Van Rankin. So the public face of that old tired housing development was knocked down. The first and how many units were in the first phase, Jamie? I can't remember. 80.
88.
100. Really, that many? Okay. So the first chunk got done. The front part of that development has been completed. There are 2 more phases, or a second phase at least,
Second phase,
that,
right.
that they're in for funding on, but it was really smart development the way they started and built along Van Rankin, and we encourage that.
Okay, and I'm sorry, the second location is where?
Kind of right across the street.
It's literally across the street.
Yeah.
There's a map.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a map. There's a packet. It's you know, the project. As you start down Aqueduct Road, really into Niskuna, you'll see on the aerial there's that old cement plant that was a garden supply place for a while, and then on the upper right it's the CDTA garage, and beyond that is the Gazette offices on Maxon Road. So it's right where Maxon and Aqueduct, where Maxon and Aqueduct meet. You know, so it's a really good location, and it's right on the bike trail, which they see as a real asset.
Thank you.
Any final questions? If not, we'll call the question on this. Move forward with a $12 million project. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you all. Any nays? Great. Next project, we move to a manufacturing company that we've worked with before that's growing and adding jobs, which are needed in this economic crisis that we're in. P1 Ventures, we'll ask James to summarize.
Right, this is a very interesting project, working with DHA Holdings and David Dussault, who we've had great experience with. And he runs a variety of tech companies here in Schenectady. He's very bullish on manufacturing in the city of Schenectady. His company is buying and relocating to Schenectady production of extraction equipment that is used in production of oils in the cannabis, hemp, and pharmaceutical industries. David Dussault is an investor in the company, and they're moving it to 18,000 square feet of space on Maxon Road, where Schenectady Flooring is currently owns the site. So they can potentially expand at that location as well. So it's an existing business. They'll set up move in some equipment, buy new equipment, set up a production facility. About 20 new jobs will be created immediately. Metroplex's participation is a $100,000 grant for the leasehold improvements, plus an exemption from sales taxes. It's a $500,000 project, and then in combination with it, an existing building that they own on 611 Union Street, the old Dorados restaurant, will be converted into administrative offices because they are a fast-moving company. With respect to seeker, it's a type 2 action, so it's exempt. So our resolution is approving a $100,000 grant and the sales tax exemption.
Need a motion on this, please?
So moved, Brad.
Thank you, Brad. Need a second?
I'll second it.
Second, Mike Angelosi.
You know, this is, as Jamie said, manufacturing work moving from Colorado to Schenectady. This will be the company's third manufacturing plant in Schenectady. In addition, they have a major complex on Union Street, and they're adding to that complex because they have a growing software business as well. So they're converting the former Muradas on Lower Union into an office for that software company, which adds to the momentum we have downtown with a lot of various software companies are growing, like Janelle Group and Transfine and others. You know, these are good paying manufacturing jobs, very much needed given the economic crisis that we're in. And we encourage the board to move forward and take this final action tonight. Happy to answer any other questions. We vetted this with you all. We sent you a lot of information about this, you know, as we made the offer and move forward every step of the way. Any final comments? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor of Resolution 1445-20 say aye.
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 Thank you all. Appreciate any no? No, thank you. Next we come downtown and something that we're really excited about, which is the return of professional offices to the city. We're seeing law back, seeing engineering companies come back. We're seeing growth of medical office in the heart of downtown now. We have more action coming in this area. This is something Neil's talked about. We have great medical assets in the community with Bellevue, with Ellis, with Sunnyview, with Hometown Health. And so we're kind of creating some good momentum in the healthcare sector. And this project tonight results in a significant expansion of a medical art downtown. I would ask Jamie to summarize the two resolutions.
Right. So as Ray said, this is an expansion of a medical arts building for upstate dermatology. They already have an existing building at the corner of Clinton Street Extension and Guy Avenue. They're leasing space there now. This project allows them to buy that building, but then they're also further expanding. I think if you take a look at the photo that's in the general project plan, the front building on Broadway is the old Integra building. They recently sold the business and the building. In between, there's actually will be a connector building that will be new construction and connect to the existing doctor's offices at the far right of the photograph. So all told, it creates over 20,000 square feet of space for medical facility, really expands their presence in Schenectady. A $1.35 million project, and it does not include the acquisition of land, additional parking, and all these different buildings. The Metroplex participation is a mortgage recording tax exemption and a sales tax exemption on all the work that needs to be done. Some of the work has already gotten started. There's two resolutions. The first is, again, the seeker resolution, unlisted action, negative declaration, good positive project for downtown Schenectady. And the second is the approving resolution.
I need a motion on the seeker resolution, please.
Can I ask a question?
So moved.
Let's get a motion in a second. Have discussion. I have a motion.
I move. Sharon.
Thank you.
Second, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Discussion?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, this isn't the Ortho New York project, is it?
No, it is not. It's upstate dermatology. As Jamie said, they lease 6,500 square feet now in a 10,000 square foot building right near the way station next to our parking lot. They're going to build a connector building. They bought the building they now lease space in. They're building a connector building, and they're retrofitting 318 Broadway, which is a really cool historic building.
Okay, so this is going to be on Broadway. Okay.
On Broadway, could have nice parking, and it expands their employment and brings their, medical visitors to downtown. It's just a great use. It's a historic renovation of an older building and new construction kind of together.
Yeah, well, we also need dermatology in Schenectady because basically that whole practice is left. Rheumatology is left, and we need to get them both back.
Yeah, and I think, as Neil said, we're working with other medical practices now. We'll have more on the board shortly, but it's a return of the kind of the professional office clientele that really left the city in droves when it wasn't happening. See it come back. A good progress here. So these are good paying jobs, and it's a 20,000 square foot building that results from this, half a block from Proctor, so right in the heart of downtown. Any other questions? It's a good question. Any other comments? So if not, we have a motion and a second on the seeker resolution. All those in favor say aye.
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 And now we need a motion and a second on to adopt the general project plan and move forward. Can we get a motion?
I so move.
Thank you. We'll put Neil down as a second. Thank you. All in favor of the adopting the resolution, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. Now we go to some administrative items related to our parking network, and we'd ask you to again summarize forward.
So resolution 1448 is the parking budget for 2021, working with Laz Parking. There have been a lot of changes during the course of the year. We went through this in a lot of detail with the Finance Committee at their meeting in December. So it's a very lean budget. Parking has not really returned to normal. We're at about 40% of where we were a year ago. So you'll see from the right that revenues have declined 27%. We've cut operating expenses by 40%. Staffing's been cut from 20 LAS employees to 5 right now. So with the introduction of the Passport mobile app, we're able to make different changes. The budget is set at $31,000, so it's quite a bit lower than prior years. We're showing revenues are not really what they were prior years either. So until we really get Passport ramps up, back in business, the offices returning down, we're going to continue to sort of have this lean parking budget. But it does, you know, we've been gradually really cutting costs. Maureen's done a terrific job working with LAS to reduce our costs, our outlays on parking. So our operating support will be around $400,000 compared to almost double that ago. So this is a good lean budget, and with LAS, we're ready to implement it.
Jamie, can I ask, over the past number of years, we've really increased the amount of parking in downtown Schenectady. And I was just thinking as you were talking, how much have we increased parking in downtown Schenectady? Granted that COVID has created a problem that we're dealing with now, but everybody in business is dealing with it. But how much have we increased parking in Schenectady over the past number of years? Do we have any way to measure that improvement?
Well, up until last year, we had increased revenues from around $700,000 a year to more than $1 million a year in 2017, 2018, 2019. You know, see, we're projecting just under $700,000 next year. So we've been on a pretty upward growth path up until the coronavirus hit.
But the number of lots, Jamie, has expanded from that.
We have about 15 lots. We have a total number of spaces of about 2,800.
So we've
2,800 car parking? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we started parking, we were at about 2,300. So that gives you an idea of the spaces we've increased.
And that includes the garage and the lot.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And again, that doesn't include all downtown, which is probably the same amount.
800 meters of space.
800. Okay. Corrected.
So if one was to say how much parking, sometimes people say, well, we don't have enough parking in Schenectady. It'd be nice to be able to say, well, over the past, 6 or 7 years, we've increased parking, 23 or 2,500 spaces. Can we say something like that?
No, I think he was saying about 500 spaces we've added.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you go back to the history of this. When I came on board, there was a lot of focus on Metroplex taking over the garage. But in addition, one of the best this board has made was to take with the garage all of the surface lots down, which we have rebuilt and great job of maintaining, and they look great. Jamie and folks at LAS do a spectacular job. I don't know how Jamie does it. He manages the parking system in addition to all the other things that he does so well. And so we grew this, Metroplex playing a role with the garage to making all the surface lots look great. And, the system was worked well. I think the key message here is when COVID hit, we didn't stand around waiting to lose our shirts on parking. We, as Jamie said, cut expenses by 40%, moved very quickly to cut spending as we did on the administrative side, which really saved. Revenues are down 27%, but we cut costs 40%.
Yeah, I realize that. I would just say, I think you know what I'm looking for in terms of talking to the outside people, that, we've increased the parking capacity with new parking lots and parking in downtown Schenectady. It'd be nice if we had a number that we could put on that. We've increased 50% or 100% or 20%. It'd be nice if I had a number I could attach to the other stuff I'm working with.
It's up by about 500. And again, it's up about 500 spaces. If you go, we have a website dedicated for everyone, public that's listening. Our website, parkschenectady.com, right? Parkschenectady.com has all the information about our lots, where they're located, the garage, the numbers, et cetera, et cetera. We want to talk about parking spaces. One of the missed opportunities was when prior to me joining this board and having a unified economic development organization, the massive Metroplex garage that was paid for by this organization for MVP was not opened up to other users in the community, which was not something I would have done. And if that was the company, it's a long story. But how many spaces are in that garage, Jamie?
About 800.
You have another 800 spaces. They're all MVP, they're all private spaces.
Yeah.
So, you know, and again, you had like paid for the garage, and that was instrumental in keeping MVP here, which is great. But if there was a shared use agreement on that garage, it would have been much more beneficial to the community. But that's water under the bridge at this point. So I have a motion and a second on the.
We don't have one yet.
We don't have a motion and a second?
On the parking budget, we do not.
We need a motion and a
So moved.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Second it.
Thank you. All in favor of adopting the parking budget, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you for your support. Next, we go to a parking enforcement policy, which is what the city's doing, and Jamie will give us an update.
Right, now that we're kind of changing the way we're doing parking, particularly with the Passport mobile app, we had a lengthy discussion at the governance committee in September about a new parking enforcement policy, so that obviously the city police can't enforce parking in our parking lots or the garage. So LAS is now doing that. So this is a new policy where we set up a schedule of parking violations, and it mirrors what the city's police already use in traffic enforcement. Many of these things don't really apply. For example, we don't have any fire hydrants in our parking lots, believe it or not. So that wouldn't be necessary. But after lengthy discussion, it was decided let's just follow the city's policy. So this is the start of our parking enforcement. We give them warnings 3 times if they're not part of the Passport program, and then they're fined, paid. And I can tell you, we've just started it in recent weeks, and we are collecting on it. So our revenues are going up on the Passport side, going up on the enforcement side. So that's good. We could use all the revenue that we can get.
So we need a motion on this, right? We need a motion on that.
Move it, Sharon.
Ed.
Thank you, Sharon. Need a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed? Great. Public comment, members of the public find it, or did any questions? Maybe not. No. We didn't. To my knowledge, there's no one for the public. No. No. Okay. Thank you.
No, there's not.
Any comments from the board on any subjects whatsoever?
I just had a very quick question because I saw lately an analysis of some industries by county for sales tax, and I know we've generally had not very good. I mean, we've been able to estimate it with some help, but have they changed the policy, or is it just that they won't tell you what the source is, say, from in the city? I was just curious about that because I generally have not seen in the press something like what auto sales, had done.
The county's taken a position that they can't divulge much of the details on sales tax collections. So we can get industry development, but not individual companies. It's something that bothers quite a bit. But we can't get better information other than the gross numbers.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Our next meeting is February. Does everyone have the date? It's
the 10th, I believe.
10th?
Yeah.
Thank you. Second Wednesday, we will be meeting. we will be meeting virtually again. We're hoping for more progress on getting past this COVID pandemic. Appreciate everybody's time tonight. The next meeting will be at 5:30 on the 10th. And we ask everyone to stay well, and we appreciate everything you do to support our efforts here at the office with the Metroplex staff, which continues to do a great job. Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
You too. Take care.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.